They were in that game for at least a little bit. But you know what else, George? It's not just that USC's defense was able to handle the Michigan O-line and handle the Michigan run game. It's the opposite as well, which is
the defense played well. Yeah.
No, I was going to say the opposite is that USC's run game.
Oh yeah, was very
Michigan
good.
for lunch.
Yeah.
And a new star was born on Saturday night. A kid by the name of King Miller. You know, I love stuff like this.
Here we go. Time for Radio Rinaldi.
Oh, I just eat stuff like this for lunch, man.
Here we go.
When you have a kid who is from Calabasas, and in his bio with USC, they talk about his junior year. And kid had a nice junior year, King. Yeah. He had a really nice junior year, had 1,300-plus yards rushing, 200, almost 1,600 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns, 221 carries. Kid had a really nice junior year, but they make no mention of his senior year, which tells me obviously something must have gone wrong. Maybe the kid got hurt. I don't know. But he's a preferred walk-on. That means that if you're a preferred walk-on at USC, you can probably find a scholarship at a smaller school. But no, you've made your commitment. I want to play at SC. I believe in myself. I think I can do it. And when you get down to the third running back and a kid by the name of King Miller, who's a kid who's really not played very much at all, buried on the depth chart. But I just love stories where guys believe in themselves and they show up and they get their opportunity. King Miller, 18 carries, 158 yards, averaging nearly 9 yards per carry. That, George, is the big difference in the game. USC's ability to run, Michigan's inability compared to last year to run. Freaking King Miller's my new favorite player in college football.
King Miller balled out, man. He had more yardage in one game than he had the whole season. So there you go.
How about his entire career?
Hey, King.
Yeah. What's up, King?
Well, right. I mean, technically his whole career, yes. Yeah. It was good stuff. It was good stuff. A Radio Rinaldi moment. We were hoping that you would have one.
Oh, yeah.
And
I got a lot of them. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you've got a lot? You got more?
Well, I mean, listen, since we've kicked off today's broadcast with what happened Saturday at the Coliseum, you talk about heart. You talk about a group of guys that have galvanized themselves and found a way to do things when the rest of the world left them for dead. How about a little shout-out for what UCLA did this past weekend?
They did.
Yeah,
Listen,
let's go, Bruins.
They bounced back. They're 2-1 in conference. Let's not get it twisted. I mean, they're right in there for in conference play right now.
By the way, our friend at LA Minute.
There's a path for USC to make it to the college football playoff. I want to hear that path because I don't want to get myself overly hyped because I know there's another monster game this upcoming Saturday at Notre Dame.
So, interestingly enough, I mean, the obvious path is they win out, then, I'm talking about just the regular season, okay?
Let me hear.
They win out, they're probably going to be a playoff team because the Big Ten is going to get 3 teams in, at least, okay? So, in my opinion.
So you're gonna have Ohio State. They're number 1 in the country, and I don't
probably
know who's
Indiana,
knock them off.
Right? As long as they continue, and then it would be the third team. It would be Oregon or USC. Like they're, and whoever else would be fighting in that 4th spot. Because here's the thing: the Penn State thing has unraveled so much that it has created an opportunity. Most people just assumed it was going to be Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, where they're going to be the 3 teams, and let's see if they get a 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And now, and by the way, Indiana would have been, was that team obviously last year. So now you're looking at it as, okay, so Penn State's out. Who's taking that Penn State spot now? So I think USC has a real shot. And the funny thing is, this weekend is the one that matters the least. If they win, they got to win at Oregon, to me, more importantly than anything else. Because if they can win at Oregon, then and obviously win the other games in between in conference, then they're in great shape to be in the conference championship game, and here we go. You know what I mean? Like, the problem is it would have to probably come down. I don't know what the tiebreakers are for the Big Ten, and I will look that up in a moment.
All right, well, here, while you do that, let me just have a second here to say this. Listen, if you want your fan base to believe, if you want the voters to believe, because all of a sudden USC is now starting to get some respect, okay? Not like the whole country is doing cartwheels going, oh, my God, USC's back. This is the best team since the early days of Pete Carroll. This is like the Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart team. Nobody's doing that. What people are doing is they're saying, you know what? take a look at USC all of a sudden because they just had a marquee win over Michigan. And it's probably the best win in the Lincoln Riley era. Certainly, I would say it's the best win. Yeah. It's definitely the best win in the post-Caleb Williams era, and I would even call that year one, the Heisman year. Right. It's probably
the LSU win was pretty good last year, but then everything fell apart. But I'm with you. This is a pretty good win for them.
But I'll say this: Notre Dame is ranked number 13 in the country. Mm-hmm. But we know this: Notre Dame lost at the beginning of the year to Miami. We now know Miami's really good. They lost to Texas A&M, and I don't know how many people have been paying attention to Texas A&M really since. Good. Okay, USC can win this game. Yeah. USC has the talent to go there and win. And now, more than anything, they've got the confidence that they can go there and win. Notre Dame is not unbeatable, hardly. So this is a very winnable game for USC. And if they win it, people will start to take them very seriously. And if they lose it, you know what everybody's going to say? Michigan's not that good anyway. That's what people are going to say. Michigan's just not really that good anyway.
They're not that good since they stopped cheating, just saying.
See? There you go. There's some validation for the opinion. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that.
Just saying.
No, you're right.
Tiebreakers, Cappy. It's a little convoluted. I got to be honest with you. Right. Of course it would be, though. Head-to-head is the obvious first result. So that's fine against Oregon if they beat Oregon down the road. Mm-hmm. But they never play Indiana. So with Indiana, then you'd have to go to the next one. And that would be against common conference opponents.
Okay.
So that would mean, trying to look here.
Like Indiana beat Illinois, you know what I mean? So like USC lost to Illinois.
Correct. So that would put them in a tough spot against Indiana. So again, it's why I'm saying, like, the season is going to come down to, I mean, the obvious is they have to win the other games too, but the season is going to come down to, can they beat Oregon? The USC game, I know you think it means a lot, and sure, if they win, it's great. But it is not the most important game on their schedule. The most important games are their Big Ten games, particularly the game against Oregon, which in theory should be the toughest game they have left on the slate.
And UCLA.
Okay, and UCLA.
Well, wait a second. Before you get to Oregon, let's just not discount Nebraska.
I know. I get that. I literally just said they got to win all the other games. That's obvious. And I'm not discounting Nebraska because at the beginning of the season I said that would be a game that would be a problem. And yes, so I'm with you.
Yeah, but don't discount Northwestern.
But in theory, they should be able to beat, Nebraska. Even though it's on the road, it should be a tough game. They should win that game. Like, they're going to be favored, I think, in that game.
I would guess so. But I mean, listen, again, Nebraska could be tough.
The only game they're not going to be favored in are Notre Dame and Oregon.
Yeah. Northwestern, here's the one thing about Northwestern. I don't think they're any good.
They're pesky.
I have this perception that they're the smart guy school, so therefore they're the bottom feeders of the conference. But the reality is, and I got it, Penn State was going through a lot emotionally. What happened to Penn State the week before against UCLA, I get it. And their coach, this is before Franklin got fired.
Well, how many times can we use that as an excuse for Penn State, though? I mean, they were saying they were emotionally drained from the Oregon game, too, and then they lost to UCLA, and now they're emotionally drained from the UCLA game, too?
No. They also lost their quarterback. Isn't that
well,
bad?
Drew Aller, but that was later in the game.
I'm not talking about emotionally drained, though, George, from the loss at UCLA. I'm just saying that things are piling up. Like, when you go from number 3 in the country and you lose at home, okay, fine, you can live with that. Then you go on the road and you get beaten down the way they did, and even that, there's still recovery time because you come home and you're playing Northwestern. But there was something obviously wrong, and people, I'm sure, could feel the vibe that James Franklin was in trouble because there was a report after the game that before he was officially fired that he and the athletic director had gotten into it verbally in the locker room for all the kids to see. So, look, I'm not going to discount any of these teams from the Big Ten. I probably overlooked Indiana for too long. I won't overlook Northwestern. I'm not going to overlook Nebraska. Iowa, certainly. But I know what you're saying about this Notre Dame game is not as important as a conference game. But if you want to be taken for real, if you want to build the confidence, if you want to build the momentum, go to Notre Dame and win that game. And if you don't go win that game, people, like I said, people immediately they'll discount the Michigan game because they'll be like, man, Michigan really wasn't that good anyway. You got an 18-year-old kid quarterback. Not that good. And he may be great eventually, but he wasn't good this past Saturday.
Yet. Yeah. All right, cool, Cappy.
All right, cool to you. You're cool.
I'm just saying. I got nothing else for you. But there's a path, and there hasn't been a path for real in a minute. Like they have turned a corner potentially, and we're about to find out if they can continue down that quote unquote path. So good for USC, good for Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley after the game was all fired up, Cappy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was.
He was happy that they had a Big Ten game and played like a Big Ten team.
Yep.
You've been so critical of him not being able to play in the Big Ten. He was talking right to you, I felt like, when he was talking to Catherine Tappan at NBC.
Yeah, you guys, this is the post-game interview. Yeah, let's hear it.
Coach, you said you wanted your group to learn to get the mentality to expect to win big games like this. What does this victory mean to you and your team and their state in the Big Ten?
It was awesome. You know, guys played hard. We were a physical-ass Big Ten team tonight. I know that. Our group were physical. Defense was physical. O-line, guys down all over the place. We just weren't going to be denied tonight, period. And you were down to your third running back, King Miller, a true freshman. What did he show you in his performance tonight? He was unreal. He does what he's been doing in practice, and awesome seeing the group. Just the mentality, right? When you lose guys like that, really good players, you can either fold or you can man up, and our guys just did a great job responding. King, the O-line, they were all incredible. Defensively, you held Michigan to 13 points. How much discipline did that take from this group? A lot. You know, we didn't have penalties. We did a great job not really giving them anything. I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage and got it done here in front of a great sold-out crowd at the Coliseum.
Yep.
There it is.
Physical ass team. I like that. You know, physical ass. Hey, look, it's true. Lincoln Riley has been criticized, and rightly so, in my opinion, that this team was not physically ready to compete in this conference. And by the way, he didn't take that criticism as you guys are wrong. He took the criticism as you're exactly right, which is why we are building this new facility. It's why we're making these guys bigger and stronger through their nutrition, through their training. We're making these guys Big Ten ready. So he knew. And then when you get beat by Illinois, or you go back to the Michigan game a year ago at the Big House, where they got run over for nearly 300 yards, and when they took the lead, they couldn't hold the lead because Michigan's running game ran through the tackles and ran to the end zone, ran them over, steamrolled them, pile drove them, the whole thing. So he knew. He knew the criticism was right, and he knew he had to do something about it. And this was the first big marquee win. And by the way, George, let's not forget this. Credit to Lincoln Riley. They're coming off a loss at Illinois 2 weeks ago. So they had a long time to study the film, do some advanced scouting on Michigan, and prepare a game plan to win this kind of a game. They came off a bad loss. They had to sit on it for a week, and then they came out and they played maybe their best game in the Lincoln Riley era. And to his point, there was an energy and a vibe around that game and around the Coliseum that I know I haven't felt in many years around a USC football game. So credit to him. How about that? Now I'm done with you. You see what I'm saying? Like you know how you exhausted everything and then you handed it over to me? I just exhausted my entire thing. Now it's back to you.
Yeah.